I have noticed that some of you are follically challenged. I'm not going to point at you, I'm not going to say you're a slaphead. What I'm going to say is I feel your pain, or as much as a woman with a thick head of hair can feel the pain of a balding man. And this poem is for you. It's a love poem. It's called Inverted Samson. Oh yes, of course, because your baldness is all about virility. Yes, I forgot to mention that, but okay. Your male pattern baldness blasts through the centre of your scalp like so-called progress in our overdeveloped world. Your head is the ankle of Italy's foot over 1900 years ago, and your hair follicles are the helpless residents of Pompeii, about to be imprisoned in molten skin forever. Nothing can stop the balding process. One morning in the not so distant future, I'll wake up beside a football manager from the 1970s, or, Sigmund Freud forbid, your father. But your baldness is your strength, and the timeline of your hairline charts your journey from boy to man. And though I joke about your extra wide parting, I admire its straightness and simplicity. It's uncomplicated, like the Roman roads we drive along together that lead to our hometowns, where we unpack and dust off our pasts and slowly unravel our shared future. Thank you. And from baldness to beards, this poem was written a couple of years ago when I first started exploring men's faces, and for want of a better phrase, and I discovered stubble. It's called Love Bites Look Cheap, he said. If, during the course of this day, I need to be reminded of you, then I'll rub my chin. The patch of skin you spoilt, an abrasion left by your stubble. It's unspeakably painful. My young skin just isn't used to it. When it fades away, I let you do it again and again. And when you finally fade away, I'll hack at my armpits with my dad's razor to achieve the same effect as your attempts at a close shave. With this self-inflicted keepsake, I'll be able to instantly recall all by myself. In fact, if that is so, then perhaps I don't need you at all. But then again, that's it. Always say they're more trouble than they're worth. Anyway, that last poem talked about my dad's razor, and this next poem is a tribute to my late dad. Well, when I say it's a tribute, it started off as one, and then it became something else, because that's what happens with poems. They have minds of their own, and they take you off into places that maybe you don't want to write about. And this poem, really, I had to run to keep up with this poem. It's called Beery Weariness. Best of luck, Ed, reads the inscription on the pewter tankard into which you poured bottles of homebrewed beer over the years. The pint pot was a leaving present from your old workmates, Bill, Gordon and Howard, when you left Durham County Council for North Tyneside back in '77. The morning after your leaving piss-up, I looked out of our living room window and saw your stack-heeled shoes spattered with sick, standing on top of our grey coal bunker. What an image! The essence of northeast culture captured, like those photographs of Biker by Circa Lisa Continent. Dear Pa, how was your head that Saturday? I was too young to offer painkillers, endless cups of tea and bacon sarnies. but I soon learned all about hangover cures. Like you, I've always enjoyed a good drink, but man, things got out of hand in London. I caned it for 15 years, unable to dissolve the wrought iron butterflies of anxiety fluttering in my belly. And when I felt them scraping against my stomach lining, or tasted their metal, I poured Carver, Guinness, cocktails, lager, beer, cider, wine and absinthe down my throat. I wanted to come home, but I couldn't just click my heels like Dorothy because life was complicated and expensive and I wasn't listening to myself. Then one morning, after a night before, I listened to a nurse in A&E. He told me I was lucky I hadn't seriously injured myself by falling down an entire flight of stairs in my shared flat. I tried laughing hard at the thought of me, naked, flying at the landing window, my fall broken by a pile of bags filled with clothes destined for a charity shop. Nurse wasn't laughing. "Sort it out," he hissed, pointing at the carpet burns on my elbows, then left me crying behind a curtain for 10 minutes before discharging me. I stopped drinking for a week, but started again and didn't stop until I'd moved far away from that flat in Shepherd's Bush. The scar on the hairline in the middle of my forehead reminds me of that time. Now my life is simple and straightforward. You'd smile at me, living in North Tyneside, drafting and redrafting words on a page, and at your tankard, hanging from a hook above the kitchen sink, here in my home. Thank you.